Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. Bitcoin taking a bit of a rest at the moment after the shaky days of the weekend and the few days before. Cardano moving along with it, and we're going to take a look at both charts in this video. We are still here in this wave 4. So at the moment, I showed you earlier today here this triangle after we broke out of this bull flag that we talked about. We obviously tried to push it through 45.5, didn't manage to. Everything in line with expectations, and then this morning I talked about the triangle here that we are forming. I think we are still sort of in the triangle, maybe just now trying to break out at the moment, though we're not really seeing the volume yet. But you can see here already, and maybe when you watch the video, maybe we're already seeing here the breakout. You already have seen the breakout, but the volume isn't really there at the moment. But yeah, we see some sort of a breakout here. It's definitely trying to push higher than this. And the breakout point here was 43.4, yeah. No, sorry, 43.8. And we are now already above 44K. So showed you earlier today that a breakout of this could take us to the possibly 46.5K level. And that is the level that I would consider the maximum that Bitcoin can do in the current scenario in this wave 4. Within this scenario, I do expect further sell-off and lower lows and a price below below 30K or below 28.7K to be very specific. And that level here, or that projection, would take us then, if we can't push above this 46.5, that's a very important level, we would go down into the target area that we talked about since November. We already came very close, to be fair, here at 33K, but I still expect a lower low, a final sell-off that could take us here below the low from earlier in 2021 that is sitting here where it is highlighted with the wave A, and that is the 28.7K level, and that is from June 21. So in a wave C that you then would get, or that you would then complete, you would normally have to come lower than the wave A. I mean, there are exceptions, and we talked about alternative scenarios in the last few days. And if we break above, and that is still the case, if we break above the 46.5K level, by the way, how do I get to the 46.5K level? Let's just, for everybody who's new, let's just draw here the fibs from the beginning of the wave 3. You can see the wave 3 here in light blue, highlighted down there. We have to take the length of the wave 3, beginning of the wave 3 to the end of the wave 3, see the retracement levels. I did highlight throughout here this, since we had the low here at 33K, talked about these levels that we would reach them. First of all, the minimum of the wave 4, the 38.7, but I remained confident we're going to see here the 43.3, which we did see. Did slightly overshoot it all the way to 45.5, but did not reach yet the maximum in the current scenario, which is 46.5. That is the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. Typically, it's very untypical if Bitcoin moves higher than this in a wave 4. If we do this, we have to talk about a different scenario in which we would then move higher, maybe even all the way up to 65K. I did explain that in the previous videos, but this would be, and I have to repeat it for everybody who's new on the channel, this would still, in my eyes, not be a move to new all-time highs. This would only be a correction, a larger corrective wave that would then still end in this yellow target area down there below. So, it would just be an extension of this, of the correction. Yeah. So that is what I do expect. Therefore, I'm not taking profits at the moment. I'm just waiting. Yeah, even though I do expect another sell-off, but there could just be this further extension of the correction to the upside. To be fair, some cryptos did that, like Harmony One had its wave B to the upside. Yeah, it did quite well while Bitcoin was down. Harmony One still kept going, but that was a wave B, and Bitcoin could do the same thing here. Have another A, B, C. Yeah, something. At the moment I'm counting here 5 waves within the wave C, but it's perfectly okay to count this as potentially, let me see if I can, for some reason it doesn't do it now. There you go, an A, get your wave B and your wave C. And the reason I'm unpacking this scenario again, it was actually my first scenario that I talked about when we came down here, but it did not materialize yet. This was what I thought when we were here. Some viewers who've been with me for a longer time might remember that. Talked about this being a wave A, talked about the wave B coming still, yeah, and that could have taken us into that range as well, and then a wave C final sell-off. Now that did not materialize as wave A. We saw an extension, so maybe this here is the wave A. There is certainly a possibility this here is a wave B, and the wave C is gonna be down there. An absolute valid possibility. You see these patterns in crypto markets, and this would become live, this scenario, if Bitcoin moves above 46.5K. The indicators, in my view, do not support new all-time highs from here. Yeah, that is still my view. It remains my view. So the day today will be very exciting. I think in the next few days, maybe even already today, we're going to see a decision here, but probably will take longer than just today. And if I zoom in once more before I go to Cardano, I mean, we are climbing higher here slowly, but it doesn't really look to me like a major breakout of a triangle. It is moving higher though, so we see a green candle. I need to keep a close eye on it. But what is important for me now, you know, do we really push higher than the 45.5, make a higher high, or do we make another lower high, or even only come up to 45.5, which would then be something like a double top, and you could really see the correction. So we are very close to a decision here. That is the message. Yeah, Cardano moving higher as well with Bitcoin, in line at the moment with my expectations. I talked about this in the previous video that I think we're gonna see potentially here the 130 level, and that is just based on the you know, we've obviously here the broke out of that triangle. Target level for that would be 130. To be fair, we already came quite close here at 126 by breaking out or trying to break above the 50-day moving average, which is still sitting at 124 here, and we're now climbing up again, or continue to climb up here on this ascending trend line. To be fair, it's looking quite weak, not very exciting, but the whole crypto market today is not very exciting. Yet it's taking a bit of a rest, but good to see that Cardano is continuing to move on this ascending trend line. Even here on the 1 hour chart, it has more room to go higher. Yeah, you can see it on the RSI here. We're not yet overbought, and I think the 50-day moving average will provide a challenge again. That is certainly here at 124, the next key resistance level that Cardano has to break. What it needs to hold is, of course, here this ascending trend line. If it breaks below that, then it could fall, I think, again to the previous lows here, maybe even all the way down to $1 or even 92 cents if it loses the dollar level. Overall, Cardano is still in this descending channel, still in a downtrend, and I would expect primarily as well, like for Bitcoin, another wave 5 down, another sell-off. It could be that Cardano has already seen the wave 4 here as it's labeled, and we are now already doing here the 1, the 2, and then 3, 4, 5 of that next wave down, which would be that wave 5. But also what we need to acknowledge here, that Cardano, similar to Ethereum, similar to Ethereum, Solana, we have VeChain, I think Alchemy Pay, Blocktopia, all the ones, they did reach their target area in the correction. Cardano as well reached its original target area in this correction. We did talk about it. It was a bit higher. It did go down all the way to 125. It did reach its target area. Yeah, it did come low enough to complete the correction. Therefore, at any point in time, that's true for Ethereum, Solana as well, and the other cryptos that did reach their target areas, they could just go to the moon from here, right? They could. And I think it is possible in a scenario where Bitcoin does its wave B, as I've just explained, and maybe moves all the way up to 65K. I think in this scenario, many of the altcoins that have now reached their target areas, and Cardano is one of them, even though I have the alternative here on the chart, which has become the primary expectation now, with a lower target area even, because we broke below the previous one. But I think all these altcoins that have seen their target areas now already, and just to re-emphasize, Cardano has seen its first target area. Yeah, when we were up here about at 240, 230, we talked about lower levels and this target area for Cardano. Then in this move B for Bitcoin, I think the altcoins could see new all-time highs. Yeah, Therefore, I think for everybody, again, just need to mention that I did mention in the past few weeks as well, when we reached the target areas for various cryptos, everybody who isn't invested in any of these cryptos and wants to wait for lower prices needs to be just of the needs to understand that I think at least that they could start at any point. Okay, I don't think they do yet. Because my primary expectation still is for Bitcoin as well to not do that wave B. But if it does, then these could just go. They could just go. And overall, zooming out, the current prices for many cryptos are really attractive still, even though many have just gone up in the last few days quite significantly. Yeah, and that's my view here about Cardano. It doesn't look bad, we can expect another move down, but I think also here we're not, also time-wise, we're not too far away from a low and a bottom. And I've been talking throughout this correction throughout and saying that I think it's going to play out throughout Q1, and I think we are good in terms of timing for this correction. And then after that, for Cardano, I think we talk about here for the next wave up, we can expect levels up to $455 at least. And for Bitcoin, someone asked me as well, I would expect at least 100k, more likely possibly around 125k for the next wave up, which would be a large wave 3 for Bitcoin. Yeah, that's my view here on Bitcoin and Cardano. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, maybe you want to join as a channel member to get access to Telegram, Discord, my own buy and sell orders, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.